Hello, today's video is about the new event, the Glorious Battle event. I was one of the chroniclers that had the chance to test some things in Glorious Battle in the Pioneer server. First to say that everything that I will show here is subject to change, as this was on Pioneer, and some things will be different in the event when it arrives in the public server. I understand that most of the people looking on the rules of the event are like this, so I will try to explain some basic things that I understood from this event, and we will discover the rest together in the public server where we will have to actually test the event. In Pioneer it was a bit difficult to test some things because there were not a lot of people participating. It was only 2 kingdoms, and as we can see, it was mainly one populated kingdom versus one kingdom that didn't have a lot of players to actually play the event, so it was difficult to test some things in the battle system of the new event. So let's now go to the things that we found out. It is an event that will last for multiple days. It will not be like AC or KVK or stuff that they take maximum 1 day, from a few hours up to 1 day like KVK. It's an event that lasted nearly a week in the Pioneer server, and it will last, I think, a lot more days in the public server. An important thing to mention is that you don't have to relocate your town in a different map, in a different specific map for this event. It's not like Champion City Siege or Alliance Conquest, Siege of Winterfell and the other events, and there is no troops limit for you to use in this event. You just open this map and you can send marches to these castles, and only your troops from the marches will be in the event. Your town and the rest of your troops will be in the normal map and you can use them normally. The event will not have constant action. It's not like joining Alliance Conquest and you have constant action for 1 hour. The event will have action at some times and you have to do other things or nothing at all for this event the rest of the time. It's just a side event that runs at the same time as your normal stuff that you do in the game. Your normal events, your normal PvP and other stuff. In this event we have 8 enemy fractions, probably 1 kingdom per fraction, and there are a lot of different buildings in the map. Each building has a different type, we can see it here, and each building gives different bonuses for your fraction. The main thing that we focus on is the influence. The fraction with the highest influence in the end of the event will be the winning fraction. You can see here that the Glorious City is the building that gives the most influence, and this is the ultimate goal, to arrive and take the Glorious City that is in the exact middle of the map. But the Glorious City alone cannot give you the win, as you can see that with so many buildings giving influence, someone that has everything else besides the Glorious City can easily have more influence than the one that has and holds the Glorious City for the whole event. In the map, all the different fractions have exact the same buildings in front of them. The map is equal to everyone. There isn't an advantage for some fraction based on the map, as there is the same exact distance for each type of building for everyone. The main advantages and disadvantages based on which spot your fraction is will have to do with your enemies and their spots in the map. If you have a very strong enemy or a very weak enemy next to you, and this can define your strategy during the event. Several strategy aspects will be very important for this event. As we can see, the building gives a lot of different buffs. The strategy will also have to do with some specific enemies that you may want to block them or not, to fight them close to their base before expanding, to block their way to you or to the Glorious City and delay them, because even if they are a lot stronger than you, there is a delay of several hours before someone can attack buildings that an enemy fraction has. So just by having some buildings in their way can significantly delay some enemy fraction. And also you have to build your way to the glorious city. So what you can do in this event? There are three main things that you can do. First of all is trade, which gives you some armaments, some stuff which you can use to construct things in the buildings that give different buffs and different stuff in your fraction that can be pretty significant in the glorious battle, in the final outcome. So, second thing that you can do is attack a building based on the kingdom's commander's instructions. Note that the kingdom's commanders are the 4 officials of the top-powered alliance, and only these can declare war against an enemy building. You cannot declare war alone, you have to wait for these 4 officials to declare war, and then everyone must send troops in order to attack the specific building so you can occupy it. One tip for this alliance that will have the 4 officials is to have an alt or some account that all the small council of this alliance have access, so all the small council will be able to make this declare war and to command the battle without waiting just for 4 people to be able to declare war. And the third stuff is to defend a building that is currently attacked. In order to do all these things, you must have endurance and horns. I don't exactly know how endurance works, as we didn't have many chances to fight in the Pioneer server, but basically the more you fight or trade, the more endurance you spend. And endurance also has to do with the amount of damage you deal to the enemy, so even if the enemy has some super whale that is in the battlefield, if he is the only one that is fighting, he will spend a lot of endurance and he will make a lot less damage to you after some point if you just arrived into the battle and you have maximum endurance. So how to occupy a building? Before you occupy it, you must declare war, and this can be done only by the 4 officials of the alliance with the most power in the kingdom. After every declaration of war, there is a time period where you cannot attack the building still. This time in the rules it mentions that it's 10 hours for an enemy city. We will have to see how it will exactly work. It makes sense to give a time for preparation before the big battles with the enemies, in order to get your people online for the battle, to tag people in Discord and stuff. And that's why I say it's not that this event will always have action, but you have to pay attention to be active in the big battles that your kingdom will need you. So, the defending fractions will have to be able to send their troops to defend at any time it is needed, and you may have several battles at the same time with several kingdoms in different directions in this map. You may have to choose what to defend and what to not defend. Important note that in the beginning we have only one deployment that we can use. You can get more deployments via separate talents given by this event that I will show in a bit, and it takes some time to arrive in the building that you chosen. I needed up to 5 minutes in order to arrive in a distant building that we had as a fraction. It may be even more in the public server, so you must be ready for that. In order to recall your troops from a building you defend or attack, you just need a few seconds, so it is not the same time in order to arrive somewhere or to get your troops back. One more important note is that the deployment you use in this event, the troops, the commanders, the dragons and stuff, cannot be used at the same time in the normal map, so they are hidden there. You cannot have your lord in glorious battle and also fight with your lord in the normal map, and the same applies to the troops and the dragon. This may be seen from a lot of people like one more way to hide troops, so it may be even increase the amount of troops someone playing the zero castle playing style that can hide. So how the battles are done we didn't have main in Pioneer, so I'm not entirely sure, but it seems that the battle are 1 versus 1 from the armies defending versus the armies attacking, something like the battle mechanics in the Army of the Dead, but also versus actual players. A question that I see a lot is if we will have actual losses in this event. Yes, we will have losses based on the rules, but we will only lose 20% of the eliminated troops in the battle. So, in the normal battle in great cities, the 60% of the eliminated troops go to hospital and the 40% are dead. So, in this event, the casualty rate is only 20%, while 40% will immediately be revived by the blessing of the Seven, something like in Treasure Seeker. So, as I said, there are 3 things you can do in this event: trade, attack and defend. So, for active people that are not fighters and maybe don't want to fight for whatever reason, can offer a lot in their fractions with another way, with the trades, with which you get the supplies that I mentioned before. These armaments seem to be very important as they can help to construct some buildings in cities you have occupied. We can see here in the rules what stats and other things these constructions can give, like increasing the number of deployments in frontline cities, so you can send more troops there and defend better against the enemy. This seems pretty important. That's why I think it favors a lot big kingdoms than small kingdoms with one alliance. This can be pretty crucial in the outcome of the event. The event also actually give the different positions some bonuses in order to play their part, with a different resilience limit, that's the endurance I mentioned before, and different stats in the battle or in the trading efficiency, which can play a significant role. Besides these stats, each position has a different talent tree that can boost even more their role in the event. Note that you can change the position you are based on what you are willing to do in the precise moment of an event. So you can start with logistics and start trading and stuff, and then when your faction starts attacking some enemy city, go to offensive position, and at some point when you must defend some of your faction cities, change back to defensive position. There is a cooldown. In Pioneer it was 1 hour cooldown. Maybe in the live server it will be a bit more, but still you will be able to change in crucial moments of the event. An important note is that the buildings start opening based on the phase the event is. There are some phases in the event that we can see here. The first phase is only trading, for example. Then in the second phase, some buildings that are close to your faction start opening, and more will start opening, being able to attack them in each phase. Now let's go see the rewards. We first have the kingdom rewards, the rewards for every player in the faction, depending on the faction rank. We can see that all 8 ranks get some rewards, with the rewards of course for the first ranks being a lot better. Then we have the individual ranking rewards that give the new castle skin, they give some badges, and most importantly they give the glory raffle tokens. These glory raffle tokens are given also in the individual contribution rewards, and they are used in the spins that I will show later. Besides the rewards for the ranking, you also get some rewards for obtaining some contribution points, same as in KVK, that you have some thresholds, and when you reach the defined points, you get some predefined rewards. So these rewards give again mainly some glory raffle tokens. These raffle tokens can be used in these 4 wheels that are quite good in my opinion. You can see here in the first wheel we get some blessing stones, mainly in general things for the dragon, some marks, some advanced raffle tokens. In the next wheel it is focused on troop appearances. It is a good chance to get SS troop appearances and of course S and A troop appearances. I think this wheel works most from the others. This wheel gives mainly badges, some total badges, some friendship packs and stuff, and it also gives a 30-day coupon of the new castle skin that is presented and is given only via this event. And the final wheel gives again the new castle skin, gives some awakening things and some commander medals. In the Pioneer it gave Lareo medals, but I have the feeling that it will give Darius medals, as Darius is a commander that has skills only for this event, and it makes sense to be given as reward also by this event. This new castle skin that is given via only this spin and with the individual elimination rewards seems very good and can make a big difference in the game, increasing passively the casualty rate, increasing passively the enemy attack reduction by 10%, and also gives pretty good active bonuses by increasing 30% the commander's damage, which is very good for the commander's damage playstyle that is introduced with the Layla skill, with the new Salma skill, and these combinations. Thank you a lot for watching. I hope my tips will be helpful for you, and I hope that we will all have fun with this event.